My friend, you are going through inner burning. In Indian school of thought, this is known as tapasya, which is your ego burning away. This is not just physical hardship, it's your soul's way of purification or your soul's way of burning things away, particularly your ego, which has been built upon through these years. So, today, let's dive deeper into some dark truths which people do not tend to talk about spirituality. The weather is beautiful for some and gloomy for some. It's raining outside. Obviously, cannot just show that in the video now. But I want to talk about this facet of life, that this facet of your spiritual awakening journey, which shows your fears, your cravings, your desires, all emotions clubbed into one particular, you call it as a sack, which is like a burden on your head. Number one is you feeling deeply lonely, and this is the most common thing which one goes through, which is no one understands you. You try to explain your stuff, your shit to someone else. You try to take them through the path that you are on. You try to give them all the pointers in a well posited manner, but they are not able to grasp that. You feel isolated, you feel alienated, you feel disconnected. There have been many philosophers, both in Western philosophy and Indian philosophy, who have talked about this form of alienation. You are surrounded by people, but you still feel a lonely part of the crowd. That's the first sign that you are gonna break your cocoon very soon. That's the first sign that you are on the right path. But this phase is pretty dark, and it becomes very difficult to manage everything when it comes on to you. Number two is you might think that you are going crazy. This is what happens with most of the people around. I mean, there are two types of people when they are going through a spiritual journey. Number one, they think themselves as to be some enlightened creature or some higher creature who is directly connected to the divine, and they have this ego inside of them, this dripping humanistic ego, which they think is not ego but mere superiority, but that's ego dripping off your face, my friend. And then there are these people who take this journey very seriously, and they think that they are going crazy. They feel scared. They cut themselves off from the world, maybe from the divine. They have fear, they have confusion, they have strange emotions. And this particularly feels like insanity. Like insanity is has grasped you and it's gonna crush you to the ground. It is a very fearful feeling. But my friend, this isn't a breakdown. One must understand it. It's a spiritual detox. This might seem very dark. This might seem that you are the only one who is facing that. Even I faced this throughout my spiritual journey when I was going through this dark phase of breaking the cocoon. You're not alone, and you're not crazy. Mind this. You're not alone. You're not crazy. You just need the right guidance. You just need to stick on. You just need to carry your torch forward. It's as simple as that. But many people tend to neglect the fact that you have to go through this phase of suffering to come out on the other end. You might be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but you might not. The fact is, there is this opening and end of a tunnel. There are two openings of a tunnel. You enter, you exit. A tunnel exit somewhere or the other. But if you tend to think that the tunnel has ended, there is a dead end, then you will keep roaming around in circles. It would be like a catacomb and you'll not be able to come out. And during this process, by which I'd introduce the third point, is you lose your sense of self, who you are, your identity, who you were, who you are currently. What were your belief systems? What were your dogmas? What were your goals, what were your motivations, everything starts to collapse. It's a state of nihilistic tendency, a state of nihilistic trance, and it feels like your ego is dying away. You do not feel interested in anything, you do not feel an urge to explain yourself to other people. I mean, we have had all these urges all our lives to explain ourselves, who we are, what we stand for, what are our belief systems, we fight for our school of thoughts, but this starts crippling away. This shows that you are leveling up because you're not feeling comfortable. Whenever you feel uncomfortable, always remember that you are leveling up. That becomes very important. And this is where you should understand that you are not broken. You are just shedding your skin. This is the next part. You might start feeling very empty and numb. The fourth point, very empty. You may feel that the joy has been stripped away. Your joy, which you would have gotten by doing various activities that you used to participate in, now disappears. It feels meaningless. The motivation disappears. Motivation feels meaningless. You think you have gone crazy, or you have gone lethargic, but you are not lazy. Your old life is dissolving, and something new is taking shape to enter your life. So this dark phase is just a phase which shall pass, and you need to understand that this is very important when it comes. You need to understand that this is gonna be there. This is the part of this journey. For some it may take a couple of days, for some it may last for a couple of months, for some a couple of years, for some a couple of decades maybe. But you should actually know how to tread your way around this, how to maneuver yourself around this by pushing forward. Not taking this for face value or for granted. You need to push forward. You have to stay in an active nihilistic state. This, in a nutshell, is a nihilistic state in which you feel everything is meaningless because everything is melting away. But you are not a pacifist. You are not a passive nihilist. You are an active nihilist. You need to push forward. You cannot help yourself but fall into nihilism, and the only way forward is to actively embrace this void which is being created, the shattering of your old belief systems and creation of new. You need to absorb this new creation, accept this new creation. Don't try to go back in your old ways. Try to move forward, try to push forward. That is the only way out. That void will still be there, but you'd come in terms with it. That's the most important thing. That is what people tend to neglect, is the disagreement with the void, which is a very bad thing to do. So this phase is something which has come on to you. Whatever you believe in, the divine, the universal order, the universal chaos is there, but it's trying to bring you in a streamlined motion and manner. So this too shall pass.